Hey, IronPigs fans, Mike Ventola back with you, and we are really happy to have Luke Williams with us here. Of course, Luke, who spent some time at the alternate site this past summer. And Luke, first and foremost, how's everything going? And secondly, what's going on with you?
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me. Everything's going well. I'm currently in Australia quarantining on I think it's my 12th day of quarantine. So almost done with that and excited to get playing out here.
Oh, I'm sure of it. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about for you playing in Australia, but I want to kind of revisit this past summer. You know, you got a chance to spend some time with the Phillies at the alternate site at Coca-Cola Park. And I know fans weren't allowed into the ballpark, but I know Lehigh Valley IronPigs fans, they want to know, what did you think of Coca-Cola Park, and what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, that stadium is pretty incredible. I know it's like relatively new. So I actually got to see it the year before when I was with Reading when we played against the Iron Pigs. So I had an idea of what it was like seeing it then, but it was pretty chilly. So I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I did in September at the alternate site where the weather was a little nice. But it's a beautiful ballpark, and I'm sure it's even more incredible with all the fans once they're all piled up in the stadium.
Oh, yeah, it couldn't be more right. It's certainly a fun place for guys to play, and I know for you, I know you're going to be looking to position yourself for that opportunity to begin the 2021 season in AAA. But before we even kick that can down that road, I know for a lot of guys, because there was so much uncertainty with being able to play this past summer because the minor league season just didn't exist. So for you, when the Phillies called you and said, "Hey, we want you to be a part of the expanded roster. We want you to get to the alternate site." What did it mean to you to have the Phillies bestow upon you that opportunity?
Oh, it meant a lot to me, especially like you said, there's no minor league season. So not being able to play and being at home, having to work on your own the whole time, it gets pretty tough for sure. And then getting that phone call and being able to fly out to alternate site was awesome. Being able to be in organized baseball again, and especially being at that alternate site where it's like you're one phone call away from getting the opportunity of a lifetime. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure too, because you get a chance to play with some guys you've played with, coming up in the Philly system, and also too getting a chance to play alongside some guys who have spent some time in the major leagues with other organizations, and getting a chance to kind of see that dynamic, up close and personal, especially too, with the coaches being so intimate with you guys as well, and being with you every day. In some ways, did it kind of feel like it was spring training 2.0?
Yeah. Yeah. In some ways it did, definitely. Definitely a smaller group. In spring training, you're used to having, I think we had 65, 70 guys at big league camp, but it was definitely a similar feeling to that. And it was, like you said, it was so nice having guys that, actually had big league time around there. Like Mikey V was there. Jonathan Lucroy was there for a little bit towards the end. I learned a lot from him. In the cage. And so, having those guys around was definitely very helpful.
And then, and I was going to follow up with, obviously, with some of the older guys you mentioned, especially too, because you're working on your craft, you're trying to do everything you can each day to position yourself. Like you said, if the Phillies were to have to give you a call and, if you were going to get that call to go up to the major leagues, was there any specific type of advice that, whether it was from a Jonathan Lucroy or a Mikey Matuk or even a Nick Martini, that kind of really resonated with you, especially whether it was something with something they saw with you about your game, or just something that you can take with you moving forward?
Yeah, John Lucroy, I got to work with him in the cage a little bit, and he, because he's, I think 12 or so years in the big league, so he's just got incredible knowledge of the game and worked with some incredible players. And so he gave me some mechanics things to work with, hitting wise. And then Mikey I learned a lot with just the day in, day out grind and being able to stay positive because, he had a tough year too. He was hoping that he would be, with the big team, and he performed so well at the alternate site day in and day out, at least when I was there. And so, he was sharing some of that the mental side of the game with me, which really helped. So,
Oh, which is awesome. So, but once
yeah.
the alternate site concluded, it's like anything else, then it's okay. Go back home or, you know, report to wherever you have to report to next. Prior to your arrival in Australia, what have you been up to this off season? How have you stayed prepared, especially now that you get ready to go play baseball so soon? What's your routine been like throughout this entire off season?
Yeah. So when I got home from the alternate site, I took about, let's say, maybe a month off, just kind of let the body relax and enjoy some time off with my family, and then got right back into it. I was working out in the gym about 4 to 5 times a week, and then I was hitting the cage about, let's say, 3 to 4 times a week, and then my dad would hit me some ground balls down at the local park right down the street from my house a couple times a week.
No, that's awesome. So, with
Yeah.
which is, you're trying to do what you can, especially with all that's going on in the world. And then now you've positioned yourself where you're getting ready to play ball here in Australia. So getting a chance to play with Adelaide, and how excited are you to be playing in Australia? And I know you're in quarantine, so outside of all that, I'm sure you're looking forward to it too, to kind of check out the city and everything.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited for the opportunity, and I've been able to talk to a few guys that played there last year, like Logan O'Hoppe, Cole Stobie. I talked to them about their experience playing with the Adelaide Giants, and it was nothing but fantastic things. And I'm excited to play some more baseball, especially with this past year not being able to play. So and to experience Australia. I've never been to Australia before, so it's another country to check out.
I was about to say, for me, I've never been to Australia, so it's always nice knowing that you guys get a chance to go over and play. And from what I was checking out too, is look like that you are going to be playing with a lot of guys you spend time with here in the Phillies system, but also too going up against some guys that you have called teammates or still called teammates. And I can sit here and list all the names, but I know a couple of guys that jumped out. Obviously, Cornelius Randolph is someone you're going to be playing with, and Jonathan Hannigan as well too, Kyle Glagowski and Austin Ross, and so on and so forth. So for knowing that you're going to be playing with guys that you've spent some time with here in the Phillies system, how excited are you about it? And two, it's almost like you feel you can't get away from these guys. It's just you spend so much time with one another.
Right. Yeah, I'm incredibly excited to play with all those guys, and it makes the transition so much easier playing with another team, another country. But you'll have a group of guys that you're familiar with, that you've done the day in and day out grind with. It'll just make it a lot easier and more comfortable to just play your game and not have to worry about having your teammates like you, or meeting new people, certain situations like that. So it'll be a lot easier of a transition. I'm excited.
It's funny too, because you're a guy that can play all over the place. You've played some infield, you played in the outfield, and you're certainly a guy that can fill his role wherever he's got to on the field. And have they talked to you about specifically where you're going to play, or are you going to be kind of filling that role where if you got to be in the infield one day or be in the outfield one day, is that kind of where you see yourself playing here throughout your time in Australia?
Yeah, I think, well, the idea of the kind of utility player or title, I think that is my title now for the rest of my career, the utility player. But I talked to the manager, Chris Adamson, AKA Tank. Yep. I still don't know why they call him Tank, but I gotta ask him that once I see him. But he was telling me that I'd most likely play infield, kind of just all around the infield, second, short, third, for the most part. I'm sure I'll get maybe a game or two out in the outfield, but I think for the most part I'll be playing infield.
It was funny. I remember when you said tank. I had been talking to recently Greg Jamborisi of now the Jersey Shore Blue Claws. I know,
Yeah.
Greg, of course, who's their longtime PR and radio guy, and he was talking about Chris Adamson because I guess he was scheduled to be the manager with now previously Lakewood, now Jersey Shore this past year, and he had mentioned the nickname Tank. So if you find out,
Yeah.
I remember him saying something about it, but he didn't really was too descriptive. I'm intrigued to see what that nickname is all about. So as you know, nicknames are all over the place in baseball.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'll be sure to let you know when I find out.
That's great. So, I'm sure too, we touched on it. You're looking forward to get out and getting playing and whatnot. But of course you're here though, to not only compete and obviously, try to maybe help Adelaide win some games, but prepare yourself for the 2021 season. I know it's still kind of a long way off on, as of now, we hope that baseball will be played in April, but what are you specifically looking to work on in regards to your development while you're playing in Australia?
Yeah, I think it's to continually work with, being a utility player, playing multiple positions. I think I've gotten down a pretty good routine of what I need to do to be ready to play all those positions. But it's just to continue to work on it. And then I think my approach at the plate, I think the one thing that I've always wanted to work on throughout my whole career has been my batting. It's been kind of inconsistent, I guess you could say, for the majority of my career. So I think just being able to keep that consistent approach and get that solid contact every day would be huge for me. Just keep it even keel, not too high, not too low. So.
Well, yeah, we're hoping for you. Just like you said, just a couple more days left in quarantine. But Luke, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. It was a treat getting a chance to watch you play at Coca-Cola Park, and looking forward to you hopefully putting on an Iron Pig uniform in 2021. So in the meantime, stay safe. Best of luck, and all the best at you at Adelaide. In the Australian Baseball League. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it.
All right, IronPigs fans, that's Luke Williams. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And until next time, go Pigs.